Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Battle of the Bridge. It's a National League Championship Round 8 clash between Birkenhead United and Auckland United. An absolutely massive game for both clubs. Victory will keep the grand final aspirations of each alive going into the final round, or it will be potentially all over today. These two clubs have contrasting histories as well. Birkenhead formed in the 1960s, Auckland United coming together of three kings and Onehunga Sports in 2020. Let's take a look at how the league table looks ahead of this game. Well, Auckland United sitting in third place, 14 points, 2 behind Wellington Olympic and Auckland City, just tucked in behind them, Birkenhead on 11 points. It's a must-win for the home side here at Shepherds Park. It will ensure that they go into the final round of this competition with the grand final within reach. But if Auckland United can pick up a victory, then that puts Auckland City and Wellington Olympic on the back foot. Those two teams play tomorrow. Here's how the visitors line up for today's game. There is one key change, and that is the inclusion of Will Mendoza, who is replacing Ollie Middleton. It's a team that Jose Figueira has cobbled together this year, very much a side in his own image, attacking, relentless, and led by Josh Redfern, who is their top goal scorer with 14 goals across the calendar year. Nick Zambrano's been in top form in the last couple of weeks. He scored 3 goals in the last 3 games for Auckland United. They're playing in a 4-3-3 formation. Birkenhead United have had their struggles in recent weeks. They come into this match off the back of a 1-1 draw with Napier. Coach Paul Hobson has made 4 changes. Everton O'Leary, Dylan Hobson, Sam Burfoot and leading goal scorer across the calendar year, Dane Schnell, come into the side. Andy Crom, Cody Phoenix, Chase Taylor and Cam McKenzie have dropped out of that lineup. It's welcome back to captain Sam Burfoot, who missed out last week after being in Australia, while there is also return for under-19 international Everton O'Leary. This is a team also that likes to get on the front foot at Shepherds Park, backed vociferously by their supporters on that balcony. The strains of AC/DC's Thunderstruck welcome the two teams out onto Shepherds Park. Harry Nata, this is a game we've been looking forward to. We've been talking about this for a while, and here it is. What are you expecting?
Yeah, look, I'm expecting a real, both teams going to have an absolute go at each other. We've seen both these teams over the last couple of weeks against Auckland City, and both of them, you know, we know how much of the possession Auckland City do dominate large parts of the game, but both these teams, when they played them, absolutely were out of the gates early on. So I'm expecting, you know, likewise for this afternoon, both teams, you know, riddled with quality, very stable at the back. I love the balance that Auckland United have at the back with Ross Haviland and Curtis Mogg, you know, marshalling the central defence. Zambrano scored 2 last week against Kashmir Tech. They were 1-0, came from 1-0 down in that game. And likewise on the other side, Birkenhead United, man, what a, you know, Dane Schnell, 5 goals, Burfoot and Alex Connor McLean leading the line for those guys. So absolutely, you know, it's going to be a mouth-watering encounter here at Shepherds Park. And gee, you'd love to be here, you know, if you're out and about, get along to this game. If you're around Glenfield, you know, this is going to be an absolute cliffhanger.
Well, this is the 7th time that these two clubs have met since 2020. Birkenhead were the last team to record a victory. In fact, in the Northern League, they defeated Auckland United by 1-0 at the start of the season. They drew 1-1 at the end of the Northern League season. And in 2021, it was so very tight. Birkenhead picked up 2 wins over Auckland United, 2-1, and then a 1-0 success in the Chatham Cup. Auckland United reversed that here at this venue in the league, defeating Birkenhead by 1-0. Their first ever meeting happened 2 years ago in the COVID cancelled season that finished with Auckland United FC at the top of the table after just 8 rounds. They drew 1-1. The referee for today is Caleb Downs. The assistant referees are Hayden Tutbury, Brandon Day, and the fourth official is Luke Gardner. We're in very experienced hands, and this is going to be an exciting game. The head-to-head record suggests that it might be tighter than we expect. But I don't know. I've seen quite a few games here over the last couple of years at Shepherds Park. The atmosphere is always electric. Ball forward by Michael Denhire into the left-back position, headed away by Birkenhead.
Yeah, Denhire has been, instrumental for Auckland United this season. Sits just in front of the back, that back two of Haviland and Mogg. You're supported by Will Mendoza this afternoon. 24. Expect a lot from him out in the middle of the park as well. We know Zambrano is kind of the glue that's up front for Auckland United. Josh Redfern, you touched on, has had a fantastic season so far, but Andrew Blake at one side, Ollie Fay, hugely talented young player. Ollie Fay, member of the New Zealand under 17 and youth teams. Oh,
goodness me. Auckland United stealing in front at that near post, almost taking the lead. It was Redfern, I believe.
What a start for Auckland United. Redfern, that's a chance. That's a fantastic chance for Auckland United. He'd be disappointed. He wouldn't at least force Leo Roddick into a save.
Here's Redfern. Well, Auckland United have a problem with an injury out of camera shot. This doesn't look good at all.
Is it Ross Haviland, is it? Oh no, Haviland's there. It is Curtis Mogg. Gee, that's a worrying sign, and you can see the indications to the bench there. Looks like it might be a knee for Curtis Mogg. Unfortunately, you can see him grimacing there on the ground. What a way to start the game for Auckland United, having to make a change already. Jose Figueira, and he's been such an instrumental player for them this year. As I said before, well balanced side at the back with Curtis Mogg naturally left-sided player, but fantastic composure on the ball, good distribution from the back.
Well, it looks like Nacho Machuca will be introduced to the fray. Now, Machuca is capable of playing through that midfield, so I wonder if that could mean that Denhire drops into centre half.
See, we didn't see any incidents. We just that goal, that chance for Redfern when that cross was fired across. I don't know whether it was a challenge earlier in that passage of play, or whether it was just an unfortunate twist or incident off the ball.
Well, Mogg, who played nearly 50 times for the Wellington Phoenix Reserves and for the A-League team against Western United in an FFA Cup match last year, departs the scene. And Machuca takes to Shepherds Park. An early readjustment for Auckland United.
So Denhire there with the yellow boots. Number 25 will slot in Machuca will, Mendoza will hold the middle of the park. Machuca will form a partnership in there with him for duration of this game.
It's nicely played by Murati to Haviland. His first time ball forward's not too bad, but Birkenhead have lifted possession. Everton O'Leary. Ball clipped forward. Auckland United have let that bounce. Haviland gets involved. O'Leary keeps his run going. Birkenhead check inside. Jorgensen. He's been a key figure for Birkenhead United with a number of important goals from the penalty mark this season.
He scored last week in their 1-1 draw against Napier. Jorgensen. So an unsettling start for Auckland United. Perhaps this is just again a extra pep of confidence that Birkenhead, when your opposition's forced into a change and a significant change too, with the central defenders leaving the pitch after 3 or 4 minutes.
A nice touch by Josh Redfern, and Reniger has managed to switch play for Auckland United, who have got Birkenhead United pinned back in their own half. Here's Burfoot. Hobson to O'Leary. Jorgensen. O'Leary. He's got a bit of pace, O'Leary. That Auckland United defensive formation has picked up possession, and now they can think about moving forward. A free kick is secured by the substitute Machuca. Piper tried to take a bit of a nibble at Zambrano. Well, Birkenhead finished second in the Northern League season with a total of 50 points. They were 1 point ahead of Auckland United, who finished third. As I said, Birkenhead United enjoyed a win and a draw against Figueira's team, who are pouring forward in numbers now. 4 inside the penalty box. There's a shot just whizzing by Silvio Rodic's right hand upright. Hobson. Ball forward, read by Haviland. It's good football from Birkenhead. They've managed to break a line here, but Jorgensen's pass was hit weakly. And Regon Murati picked it up. O'Leary, Burfoot. Botica. It's neatly played to Sam Burfoot, whose control has been exploited by the aggression of Harshe Reniger. Zambrano switches play to the right-hand side. Again, Auckland United have 3 in the box this time. Fay tried to spin and shoot, but Birkenhead have got back in numbers to deal with the problem.
They break quick, Auckland United, in those sort of areas. Andrew Blake released on the right-hand side. It's his shot a few moments ago that sort of whizzed past the Rodic goal.
Haviland. Zambrano gives chase. It's dealt with by Dino Botica, who's had some joy in televised games at Shepherd's Park this summer, having got himself on the score sheet in the 3-1 win over Christchurch United in the first couple of weeks of the National League Championship. He's got some defending to think about though, as Auckland United send 4 to the edge of the box. There's one at the near post, one on the edge of the 6-yard box, sitting in front of Rodich. Now barefoot. Alex Connor McLean, who's a very important player for Birkenhead in terms of scoring goals. Dane Schnell, who has in the past played in midfield, has picked up 9 goals this season. Alex Connor McLean sitting with 8 currently, and Luke Jorgensen's up there. As I said, he's taken a lot of the penalties in this campaign, while Blake gets some treatment for this moment. Wow, that was a left knee. It looked like it buckled there. Not great for Blake. Had injury problems during his time in Scotland with Hibernian a few years ago. So turned out for Eastern Suburbs in the New Zealand Football Championship, as it was a couple of summers ago. Blake fit to continue. Denhire. Mac Waite launches it long. It's flicked on for United. Redfern again, he's very good under pressure from a variety of different passes, whether they be aerial along the ground. Front man, he's not afraid to make himself available. Free kick for Birkenhead. Hobson. Jorgensen to O'Leary. Well done by Luke Jorgensen under considerable pressure. He's picked the ball up now and can run at the Auckland United defence, and he managed to get the ball out of his feet, but it lacked enough power to seriously test Mac Waite.
Yeah, I think we'll get some mileage on this right-hand side. Previous games, Everton O'Leary has done an enormous amount of work putting pressure on opposing players, and it'll be an interesting clash this afternoon against Shea Raniga. A lot of pace. Everton O'Leary works really hard. Loves to get past players. He's often that second runner when balls get knocked into the likes of Alex Connor McLean or Dane Schnell.
That's well done by Corbin Piper. Excellent play from the Birkenhead midfielder to release teammate Everton O'Leary down this right-hand side. Jorgensen, barefoot goes short. There's no movement off the front line yet. It's with O'Leary. Birkenhead showing patience. Hobson for Botica. Neatly done by O'Leary. Now Birkenhead can break quickly. Alex Connor McLean against Denhire. Cuts it inside to the near post. Good save. I think it was a save. Maybe it hit the post. Mac Waite had it covered in any instance, but very good play from Birkenhead United.
Yeah, Jorgensen again getting himself forward into a goal scoring position. Lovely bit of work on the right hand side there by Birkenhead, and Jorgensen struck the side of the post. Certainly coming into this game with some form, as you alluded before. Gordy loves to score goals, gets forward, scored last week against Napier.
Yeah, I've lost con.
Quarter of an hour gone. Birkenhead 0, Auckland United 0. Chance for the visitors to get a cross in, and they've earned a corner. Here's Andrew Blake with the corner. Goes out towards the edge of the penalty box. Den High will retrieve. There's a ball into the near post, and it's kept in by Zambrano. Well, the offside flag has gone up. Well, Jose Figueroa took over at Keith A Park with Auckland United at the start of the year. He fashioned very interesting sequence of form in the last half of the season in the Northern League. 11 games unbeaten. It included a 2-0 win over Auckland City FC in the last round of that competition. He then guided the team to an equally impressive run of form. Just one defeat in their 7 games in the National League Championship that came against Wellington Olympic down in the capital. Week after that epic 3-2 win over Auckland City the week prior. Here's Jorgensen. Dylan Hobson. It's a good ball. Nice header down for O'Leary, who's overestimated his ability to play that diagonal. You could see what the idea was. The execution let him down.
He picked out Reggie Marathi beautifully, didn't he?
Yeah. I can make that pass with a PlayStation controller, though. Mustn't be too critical. As Marathi takes a throw in, headed forward by Birkenhead. Burfoot gets there. Nice work by Ollie Fay.
Yeah, I think he's going to be critical for Auckland United this afternoon. He's got to get himself involved as much as he can. Ollie Fay.
Here's Blake, and it's punched by Silvio Rodic. Straight up into the air, and the former Croatia age group international goalkeeper does just enough. Releases Piper. Well, the ideal result for Wellington Olympic and Auckland City FC would be a draw here. That would leave both these clubs cut adrift.
Yeah, then Auckland City play Miramar playing tomorrow. Wellington Olympic are playing Christchurch United at the moment. I'm guessing these two teams would love losses for those respective games just to keep the last round particularly exciting, depending on what happens here, obviously.
Yes, there is this 2-point gap between Auckland United and second place. The free kick wound in. It's taken a couple of deflections. It's a bit hectic in and around the penalty mark, but Auckland United have survived the test set before them by Birkenhead. Hobson. Barefoot. Now Birkenhead with another chance to attack down that left-hand side.
Here's the free kick. Lovely ball into the box there. A couple of players on the ground there. Lovely delivery. Whipped in. Those ones are so difficult in between the last defensive line and the keeper.
Well, we understand that Wellington Olympic, after 1 hour of their match with Christchurch United, are 6-1 ahead. So Birkenhead now on the attack. A couple of step overs from Connor McLean, and Mac Waite felt that he had to do something there with the viciousness of the cross, which is to get a glove up to Alex Connor McLean, who hit it with purpose.
It's a lovely bit of play from Connor McLean, aggressive, sort of attacking Ross Haviland, whipping in a great ball.
That was a disappointing corner, but Jorgensen's picked up the bits and pieces. Fay. Lovely little cutback. He can't continue the movement. Now Jorgensen. Midland. Well, Paul Hobson's about to make a substitution, we understand. Well, it's Andrew Crom who comes in for Nick Forrester.
Perhaps it's an injury to Nick Forrester.
Well, Andrew Crom's an experienced player at this level. So both squads, quality and depth, certainly being examined inside the first 22 minutes here at Shepherd's Park.
Yeah, 2 substitutions inside 22 minutes. I think both coaches wouldn't have anticipated that, but that's obviously the way it's football, right? Really unfortunate. Curtis Mogg looked like an unfortunate knee injury, limped off after 3 minutes. Already a change for Paul Hobson.
Oh, that's cleverly done by Reniga.
That's lovely.
That's superb play by the Auckland United left back, who's travelled almost the entire length of the pitch. Fay gets involved. Oh, and the touch from Nacho Machuca was heavy, but that brings to an end a very exciting and promising move. And Denhire and Piper both going at each other. Right in front of Paul Hobson, who's furiously questioning Caleb Downs, the referee, about what unfolded there. It'd be very interesting to see what Caleb Downs does now. You can see Luke Gardner's also there.
That was a shove in the face from Denhire. Corbin Piper. You can't raise your hand into the face of any player.
A yellow each, or just a talking to?
Just
well,
a talking to, but looks like
to,
yeah.
Interesting. Interesting, because if this continues to
bubble on
and ramp up, well, then the players have still got plenty of space to go and explore what that means. Whereas if you bring the cards out, you set the marker. But that's the choice that Kayla Downs has made as Reniga goes on another one of these rangy runs.
Started the game well too, Harsha Reniga. Auckland United for good runs, that lovely bit of skill to sort of knock the ball over the striker and then collecting it on the other side just a few moments ago.
Yeah, former Always defender, of course. Won his first cap under Anthony Hudson, which seems like a very long time ago now. But had a run there with injuries that really curtailed his progress in the game. But a very good player on his day, Harsha Reniga. Haviland. It's a good ball forward for Faye. Hobson for company. Now Mendoza back to Haviland. Good defending from Botica. Well, I'm sure the balcony would find that confrontation between Denhire and Piper near source for the goose, which will just add to the tension and excitement that will build up here as these teams go in search of a victory to keep their seasons alive.
Yeah, both teams desperate for points this afternoon. It's going to be a very close, I guess, last round next week. The Olympic result, but we're hearing that's it could be well and truly in favour of the of Olympic at the moment against Christchurch United at Auckland City, as we talked, playing Roma tomorrow.
Well, Birkenhead finish off their season next week in the capital, 27th of November. They face Wellington Phoenix. They'll be hoping for maximum points here today and 3 more next week to take them on to 17.
Love the bit of play from Corbin Piper. So he started the game well in the middle of the park. Both him and Jorgensen have been on it so far this afternoon.
Marathi. Nice touch by Machuka again. Look at the numbers that Auckland United get into the penalty box every time the ball goes into wide areas. 4 players converge on Silvio Rodic's 6-yard box.
Again, Josh Redfern making that near post run across the face of goal. So that super chance he had inside a couple of minutes at the start of this game. That near post header. Again, probably getting too much of his foot on that one. Just needed to guide it across the face of goal of Rodic.
There you go. Shove in the back to go with a ball that was given away by Auckland United. Free kick for Birkenhead.
It's been a bit unsettling for Auckland United, obviously, with that injury to Curtis Mogg. Denhire is usually the player sort of getting the ball off the back too, Haviland and Mogg. So it's looking like Mendoza and Machuca are playing 2 sixes in there with Zambrano just sitting in front.
Flipped in, and McWade comes for it, doesn't quite get it. In fact, doesn't get it at all, and Auckland United forced into a rearguard action to help out their goalkeeper. Ball pumped back in towards the penalty box, and up goes McWade with a better outcome for him than the previous experience. Marati. Mendoza. Oh, and again the mistake starting to creep into Auckland United's game.
I'm not sure that Mendoza or Machuca's game is kind of built around, I mean, like an identical replacement, I guess, for Michael Denhaya, who just that link, gets the ball, moves the ball, you know, breaks up play, is always there from the back, receiving the ball, even across the back four actually. So I'm not quite sure which one of those two, Mendoza or Machuca, are going to be instrumental in taking that role this afternoon for Auckland United.
Yeah, it's a point very well made. In games that I've seen of Auckland United, they've preferred one over the other in terms of how they deploy their team, and what both Machuca and Mendoza are very good at is drifting into those pockets of space and
playing in that 8 position or 10 position, not necessarily the 6, which is where Denhaya, he's done ever so well for Auckland United this season.
Well, over half an hour gone at Shepherds Park. It's Birkenhead United 0, Auckland United 0 in the National League Championship. Dane Schnell, who's been very quiet so far, finds O'Leary and goes to the near post. McWade had pressure bearing down on him from his right shoulder, and he kept his composure and concentration. Well, in 7 clashes between these two teams, just 10 goals scored, and only on one occasion has a team managed to score twice in this fixture, back in 2021 when Birkenhead beat Auckland United 2-1. But in the 6 matches they have played, there have been 2 draws, 3 wins for Birkenhead United, and just a single victory for Auckland United, which happened on this ground last year in the Northern League. Free kick, straightforward decision for Caleb Downs.
Dylan Hobson whipping an excellent ball, free kick, sort of 5 or 6 minutes ago. Pretty much from exactly the same spot, so expect the same rinse and repeat from Dylan Hobson from this sort of angle. Ball, it is a bit longer. Bit of a waste for Birkenhead.
Things getting a bit scrappy in the middle of midfield. It's one of those occasions where players have to regulate their emotions with the stakes being so high. And one player's never short of a word is Sam Burfoot, who's giving Caleb Downs a few insights of his own. Here's Machuca. Karate. It's a heavy touch, and Birkenhead are looking to exploit that heavy touch as the ball goes into Mac Waite, and there's only one player forward from the front line and one from midfield. It was Jorgensen. Stark contrast between the two teams when they're attacking in those areas. United getting 4 players in almost every attack. Birkenhead half that number. Haviland. It's played by Bottica to get in front of Redfern. Knocked on by Jorgensen. Neatly done by Schnell. Jorgensen spots the run on the far left-hand side, and now there's a possibility for Birkenhead with late runners here from midfield. Mendoza and Machuca getting involved. It's a free kick and a pretty useful position for Birkenhead United.
You know, hesitation from Caleb Downs. He was right there, just left a screen. Just inside the box.
Caleb Downs pulling the ball back to the position where he feels satisfied. That's in compliance with the laws of the game. That's left Mac Waite with a very, very busy penalty box. Hobson stands over the ball.
Oh,
I say, what a goal! What an absolutely beautiful goal. And the balcony at Shepherd's Park erupts in delight, and Auckland United find themselves a goal down. His earlier free kick was not as impressive as this. What a brilliant goal.
He's just, see how that one's just dipped as soon as it's cleared the wall. Gee, it's ended up in the bottom corner, I think, virtually, from Dylan Hobson. What a fantastic free kick. Well, those ones are 9 times out of 10 unstoppable.
Well, the 3 free kicks he's taken have been warm, cold, and red
hot.
hot.
Yeah.
That was such a great goal. 37 minutes gone at Shepherd's Park. It's 1-0 to the home side. How will Auckland United respond? Mendoza. Trying to play an immediate give and go. It's well won by Jorgensen, much to the approval of the balcony. Still on he goes. Good recovery by Reniga. Fantastic work from the Auckland United defender to get back and help out his team. Here's Burfoot. O'Leary. That's a lovely ball by O'Leary. A chance perhaps, and good save by Mac Waite. Well, a regulation save really, but he still had to stand tall and strong and hold his position. Corner kick for Birkenhead.
It's almost an identical run made earlier on from Connor McLean. And again, he whipped that into the near post of Mac Waite.
Hobson's corner kick goes to the far post. It's won by Piper. And the second touch was pretty heavy. But Birkenhead with their tails up. Denhire. Fay takes a shot that's right in front of Caleb Downs, whose positioning has been exemplary for all the major incidents of this match so far. Mendoza. All right, it's one challenge. Gets past the second. Marati, line broken. Oh, and that was so close. So close. Piper seemed to slip at the crucial moment, and that slip put off the Auckland United player, Zambrano. Here is Zambrano, another heavy touch, but Piper's popped out of the line. Well, the goal seems to have disrupted Auckland United's flow for the moment. They've picked up a free kick. For this foul, it may be more than a talking to. Caleb Downs has produced a yellow card for Jackson Woods. I think that was a smart free kick to concede, actually. There was
Marati
a pocket.
was kind of, it opened up, hitting it for him.
Blake stands over the ball for Auckland United. 6 in the penalty box for Auckland United, and they go very close. I think it was Haviland who drifted in, unable to direct the header on target. Well, this is now Birkenhead in another promising position. That's good defending from Michael Denhire. Barefoot. Birkenhead need to show patience and experience with this 1-goal advantage. See it out to the half-time break and regroup. The last thing they'll want to do is allow Auckland United back into the game. Nicely done by the goal scorer Hobson. There was late drama in the clashes between these two clubs in the Northern League. Luke Allport scored a late winner at Keith A Park for Birkenhead United, and Birkenhead in the present thinking about defending through Corbin Piper at the near post. Barefoot, nicely done. O'Leary, lots of space on this right-hand flank. That's a better pass for the long diagonal. Clipped into the far post again. O'Leary has kept his run going. Good cross and away by Haviland. When these two teams met at Shepherd's Park on the 4th of June, Will Stevens scored after 80 minutes, came on as a substitute. And Jackson Woods, who just went into the book, scored a late equaliser. Which just goes to further illustrate how tight these matches are between these two clubs. Here's Hobson with a corner. Well taken by the goalkeeper. Haviland. Flash by Mendoza to Machuca. Woods. Murati goes long. Redfern trying to find a way past Botica. Murati forward again. Here's Machuca's shot blocked. And the free kick for Auckland United. We're coming into the final seconds of the first 45 minutes. I understand 3 minutes of additional time to be played. Plenty of time for at least a couple more chances. For Auckland United, they're in a position of advantage here. Blake. Taken short. Ollie Fay. Blake, lovely touch with the outside of the right foot. Good cross in. And Birkenhead have survived an anxious moment that was created by the short free kick between Blake and Ollie Fay. Reniga now. Murati. Well, I suppose the counter-argument there, Harry, is do you just put the ball in the box? Or
yeah, well, they've looked dangerous in those wide positions, Auckland United. I think, for me, with Den Hire now having to fill a role at the back, they probably look a little, little weaker in the middle of the park physically. The likes of Piper and Jorgensen are certainly been more influential in that respect.
There's Blake's corner, and it's been misjudged. A chance! And Brigant Murati has slammed the shot high over the crossbar, and you can hear how the Birkenhead United supporters feel about it. Well, Michael Denhai has taken a whack in the process. Forward. Auckland United enjoying a very good spell just before the half-time break. Haviland making a run forward. He's got Reniga here on his left. He might not need him. He's in the corner. Taken short. Zambrano and Blake combining. It goes to the far post, and it's nodded back into the danger area. Rodic is called upon and takes it perfectly. And that is the final act of a fascinating first 45 minutes at Shepherds Park. It's Birkenhead United that have the lead courtesy of Dylan Hobson's quite brilliant free kick on 37 minutes. Auckland United could have been ahead as early as the first minute when Josh Redfern stole in at the near post. But at half-time at Beachhaven, it's Birkenhead United 1, Auckland United 0. Wow. Welcome back to Shepherds Park. It's Birkenhead United who lead Auckland United by a goal to nil. The goal scored by Dylan Hobson after 37 minutes. Substitution has been made at the break. Will Mendoza has come out and been replaced by Will Stephen. So we were talking, Harry, about the balance in that Auckland United midfield, and Jose Figueira has identified something in there and gone to a player who has scored a goal in this fixture previously, in Will Stephen.
Yeah, we were talking in half time there. Just not sure whether Mendoza or Machuca, have got the. I mean, clearly they don't have the same sort of capability. They do totally different players than Den Haya, but suited to that sixth role. I think that's where they've probably, just a little bit light.
Well, Den Haya, it appears, has moved into midfield, so Stephen has gone back into the back line. Let's see what that configuration looks like, because it could be Reniga who's playing next to Haviland, possibly. That will all unfold as this half unfolds. Hobson, O'Leary, Jorgensen. Birkenhead United making their way up the pitch, but that's the value of Michael Den Haya playing in a more advanced position just in front of the back four.
Instantly he's proved his worth in the middle of the park, Den Haya, because he drifts across the back line, just in front of the back line, but he's so good at breaking up play, like we said there, and bringing the ball out in those sort of areas.
Here's Machuca. That's a good run forward by Murati. Well, Auckland United on the front foot.
Yeah, they need to be aggressive in the opening 10 or 15 minutes. Really put some pressure on Birkenhead. I think they've, their biggest threat is out wide, the likes of Blake and Ollie Fay on the other side. Zimbrano, we've seen how many times he makes sort of some fantastic runs across the near post. Redfern, we know what he possesses as well from crosses.
Here's Blake, hanging up in the air for Den Haya, but that's confidently done by Silvio Rodic. Alex Connor McLean playing the ball back in. Neatly done by Haviland. That's a bit casual from Murati. Well, Jackson Woods needs to be just a little bit careful. Picked up a yellow card in the first half. Nicely done by Den Haya and Fay. You can, as you said before, there's just a better balance to this Auckland United side now, as Fay goes between O'Leary and Jorgensen. The shots from distance comfortably taken by Silvio Rodic. But clearly Auckland United have been given clear indication that they have to go on the front foot to try and retrieve this situation, ideally. They'd like a goal or two. Hobson. Well, Birkenhead tried to force the issue all the way up the pitch. Now it's with Auckland. Woods takes on Murati, Alex Connor McLean, Dane Schnell. Haven't seen a lot of Dane Schnell in this game. Jorgensen. Dylan Hobson caught late. Free kick for Birkenhead United.
There's Ollie Fay just catching. Dylan Hobson late there. Got a chance now for Birkenhead to get this one into the box.
There goes the free kick, and McWaite's missed it. It's in the back of the net, and it's Corbin Piper. Piper makes it 2-0 to Birkenhead United, right in front of the home support. 5 minutes after the restart.
Well, the Auckland United defenders all standing looking at each other. Corbin Piper, you'd have to say McWaite came for that one. He's actually, you've got to get something on it if your keeper's coming with those sort of crosses. At least get a hand or a punch to it, a fist to it. Corbin Piper did ever so well to challenge out-rushing McWaite. Just a mistimed judgment from the Auckland United keeper.
Well, now the situation very much in Birkenhead's favour. Oh, that's a lovely skill. Cross to the near post. It's cut out by Reniga. What do Auckland United do from here?
Well, we've got to start taking some risks, unfortunately. 2-0 down. Both teams desperate for the points this afternoon. Obviously United forced into that change with Curtis Mogg for about 2 minutes. So they've actually had to change their lineup. They obviously moved Den Higher back into the middle of the park for the start of the second half, but they really need to start pushing players forward and taking some risk.
Well, that was brilliantly done by Sam Burfoot, and now Alex Connor McLean having a lash from the edge of the box. Machuca trying to play Zambrano. Corbin Piper provided some excellent cover for Silvio Rodic. I was talking earlier about Dane Schnell's game. It's been very quiet, but Nick Zambrano as well for Auckland United has not had the impact I expected from him. He's been in great form, and Auckland United really need something from a player of his calibre and capacity. Machuca concedes a free kick.
Again, I'm not quite sure just if it's that change and the Den Higher missing for most of the second half, or most of the first half. Just haven't been able to sort of build up play through midfield and get some service into the likes of Zambrano. They have done okay when they've been wide with Ollie Fay and Andrew Blake on either side.
Here's Hobson. That's a good free kick, and this time much better goalkeeping from McWaite. Very confidently taken. Murati, Blake. Oh, Blake's overdone it. The pressure now starting to tell on Auckland United. Connor McLean for Jorgensen. There's a spare player at the back post. A shot blocked by Ross Haviland. Was unleashed by Sam Burfoot. You're quite right, Harry. Auckland United now starting to take risks, and gaps and spaces opening up across Shepherds Park. And here's another one. Piper's roaming forward. Schnell, Connor McLean. Corner kick.
Yeah, mounting pressure from Birkenhead. Blake just the culprit, just a couple of heavy touches in midfield and dispossessed, and all of a sudden they're on the back foot.
Well, full-time score from the match between Wellington Olympic and Christchurch United. It's finished 7-1 to Wellington Olympic, so they, for now, are in first place with 19 points. And currently, Auckland United and Birkenhead 14 apiece as this result sits. Dylan Hobson about to take the corner kick. Beautifully flighted in, and Piper nearly got there. The shot deflected. It was the volley from Luke Jorgensen. It appeared to strike either Reniga, Zambrano or Denhire, perhaps all of them on the way through. There's Denhire. It was Denhire with both the header and the deflection. Hobson. Cold, warm, red hot, cold. But,
well, if it's the cycle, you know, obviously the next one might be okay, and then, you know.
Quite. Look, that free kick was something else, wasn't it? It's really set the tone. Well done by O'Leary. Pressure from Will Stephen. Reniga. Blake. Reniga's in trouble here. He's emerged from that minor crisis, and now Auckland United can hit on the break. Ollie Fay. Redfern's made a run to the penalty mark. Zambrano is near the penalty mark now with Redfern in the 6-yard box. That's poorly given away, very cheaply surrendered. Now Redfern. Zambrano's unmarked if Redfern can find him, and it's Andrew Blake who's denied in the 6-yard box by Jackson Woods.
Yeah, well defended by Jackson Woods. He sensed that danger. See the run of Andrew Blake there. Great bit of defending from Jackson Woods.
You have to stay so very carefully concentrated in those moments. You don't want to clip the opponent, concede a penalty. As Blake goes short with this corner kick. And taken comfortably by Rodic. Wait. Denhire. Tried to pick out Redfern, but overestimated the power required for the pass. It's with Rodic. And launched long by Birkenhead. Haviland keeping his cool. Reniga. Murati. was well won by Botica off Redfern, who's a much taller player. Stephen. Fay tried to let it run. It was read very well by Dylan Hobson, who's in the end won a throw-in for his team. Zambrano with a little give and go with Denhire, and Redfern's cross was intended for Blake, who was just a couple of yards short of it. Now Marati with a cross, headed away by Birkenhead. Auckland United trying to bludgeon their way through this red and white wall that's been established by Birkenhead alongside a 2-goal cushion. Stephen. Intercepted by Botica. O'Leary. Here's Schnell. Alex Connor McLean is there. Away by Reniga. Well, another match underway. Melville United against Napier City Rovers. 2 games tomorrow. Auckland City FC and Miramar Rangers, and then Cashmere Technical against the Phoenix Reserves. And the final round, round 9. Matches that matter most. Birkenhead away to the Phoenix on Sunday the 27th. Auckland City are at home to Melville United. Auckland United will play host to Napier City Rovers at Keith Hay Park. And the Wellington Derby, Miramar Rangers against Wellington Olympic at David Farrington Park. Here's the National League Championship table as it currently sits, taking into account the result that sits before you. Birkenhead on 14 points, level with Auckland United, but they go ahead on the back of the head-to-head record in the National League Championship. And of course, Auckland City have to play Miramar Rangers tomorrow, which may not be as straightforward as it appears on the league table, given that last year Miramar beat Auckland City 2-0 in the Chatham Cup quarterfinals at David Farrington Park. Here's Alex Connor McLean. Jorgensen. Beautifully struck. Everton O'Leary on the right-hand side. Whipped into the near post. Dealt with nicely by Ross Haviland. Lovely turn by Connor McLean. He's scored goals from a similar position in matches this season. Little throw to the right, turns onto that right foot. Here's Piper. Now Connor McLean, well, it spat up at him. And the first time shot up against Marati. Burfoot, what's he got here? Oof, not far away.
Spell of pressure for Birkenhead. Sam Burfoot with a raping left foot shot just a few moments before, as you see here. He followed it up with a shot just over the crossbar.
It was just starting to dip as well. Burfoot's got a very good technique. Scored a brilliant long-range goal in the Chatham Cup earlier this season in the early rounds. I think it was against Central United as Jackson Woods lines one up, but wow. In his defence, a left-sided player
he's a
shooting with
left-sided
his
player,
right.
isn't he? You know? I'm sure his right foot's much better than that shot.
Well, you've got to back yourself, don't you? Have a pop at 2-0 up midway through the second half. Of course, if to go back to the playoff picture, if Auckland City do beat Miramar, then the picture will be complete with a round to go. It would effectively be Wellington Olympic versus Auckland City FC in the National League Championship Grand Final. Auckland United need to find a foothold in this game. A goal from somewhere to half the deficit and put the pressure back on Birkenhead United. Currently looks a situation that may be loosening from Auckland United's grip. Forward by Rodic, comfortably won by Haviland. Here's Zambrano with Piper trying to run interference. Murati, Zambrano. Oh, he tried to go between the legs of the defender. The shot blocked, crucially blocked by Birkenhead. This from Alex Connor McLean, much to the approval of the home support. Now O'Leary and Jorgensen involved, barefoot, free on the left. Nicely linked in with Jorgensen, who still keeps going. Auckland United funneling back in dribs and drabs. Oh, and that's broken for Jorgensen, who's passed one. He needed all the deftness of a futsal player there to try and negotiate that tight space. That's a corner kick.
That's what Luke Jorgensen gives you. Tenacity, then the tackle to win the ball, gets himself in the box. Puts other players under pressure just with his presence.
Corner kick goes to the far post. It's picked off by O'Leary. Still going. Well, a double substitution is being prepared by Jose Verguera. Referee Caleb Downs has halted play. So Machuka, who came on earlier for Curtis Mogg, is being taken out of the game. And it's the man who scored the winning goal against Auckland City, Esame Penda. Guy Frank Esame Penda, who comes in. I believe the other one is Ollie Middleton. Away by Botica.
He's certainly bringing the changes, and he has to, as they forget it, to find something in the next few minutes to get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, they have to score the next goal, that's for sure. Burfoot. Piper. Andrew Crom. Well, won by Jackson Woods, who showed plenty of strength and steel and determination to win that ball, and is still doing so. Free kick though for Auckland United. So that other substitution was Andrew Blake and Ollie Middleton. "20 minutes to go. Birkenhead sitting comfortably with a 2-goal cushion. Here's Middleton. Free kick conceded by Piper. Well, there's all sorts of mayhem unfolding at Gower Park. It's Melville United who are in front of Napier City Rovers by 3-2.
Yeah, Melville have come into some form last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, well, 5 goals in 29 minutes as well. Here's Fay. And disappointingly for Auckland United, that's failed to test Silvio Rodic. Good win by Den Hire. Flicked on by Zambrano. Renegas made a mistake here that's led to a free kick for Birkenhead, and a yellow card is produced for the former All Whites defender.
Good aggressive running. He's done that all day. Connor McLean. First half as well, just a couple of really good runs into the box, and he's forced himself into positions where he's able to get in front of his defender, either get a shot on goal or cause problems, just like.
Well, Hobson went the left-hand side before. He's tried to go to the right, and, well, back weight left an elbow in there on Corbin Piper.
You just get a sense of the urgency now around the demeanour and I guess the mannerisms around Auckland United now. The intensity is lifted. They know they've got to get something out of this game.
Auckland United have not had their problems to seek in this game from the very earliest of moments when Curtis Mogg went off injured. It forced a reshuffle on Jose Figueira, and it led to the moment where Dylan Hobson produced a piece of exquisite quality from a free kick to give Birkenhead the lead. And subsequent reshuffles designed to settle the team and get them back into the match haven't held. And Birkenhead doubled their lead through Piper, but here go Auckland United on the attack here. A chance for the substitute, and it's deflected out for a corner. It was Guy Frank Hessimpenda.
Yeah, nice cross from Ollie Fay. Jackson Wood just trying to help that one on its way. Hessimpenda just forcing a corner.
This corner's been headed back in, and Birkenhead have got some defending to contemplate. Denhire goes to the far post. Jorgensen was underneath it. Haviland's there, fancies a go, and that's a great strike. And a very good piece of goalkeeping by Silvio Rodic, but Haviland's volley had power and accuracy and intent, and how that stayed out, I don't know.
He couldn't hit it any better, could he, Ross Haviland? Rodic, right place, right time.
Birkenhead look pretty comfortable, but that's also a problem. Don't want to switch off and get complacent here as Alex Connor McLean lines up a shot. It spits off the turf into Mac Waite's grateful gloves. Denhire. Haviland. Nice turn by Zambrano. Fay. Zambrano's made a run forward. It's spotted by Fay. Redfern goes himself. He's passed one challenge. Zambrano's dropped off to allow space for the cutback, but Redfern felt that there was an opportunity for him to try and pull the score back. He's got a deflection and a corner to go with it. Middleton. Haviland. Birkenhead are just happy to let Auckland United dictate things. Still plenty of time for Auckland United.
Yeah.
If they score one, why not grab a second?
There's good pressure too building for Auckland United, despite being a couple of corners, but good delivery required.
Ball wound in from a different angle. Denhire's underneath it, so too Jorgensen. Well, Birkenhead United really do find a lot of joy here at Shepherd's Park when games open up. I was thinking of the Kashmir match. I think they won that one 5-3, and it was end-to-end for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Dane Schnell helped himself to a hat-trick that day. Kashmir certainly approached that match much the same way as a half-court basketball match. It was just everything going through Garvin Coughlin, but Schnell emerged as chief punisher. Here's Marati. Reniga. Denhire. Wait. Haviland. Second ball falls for Will Stephen. Oh, and that was a late challenge by Corbin Piper, but Caleb Downs allows play to continue with Auckland United in control through Reniga. Hessimpenda. Ollie Middleton. That's a good ball in, and it's dealt with under pressure by Birkenhead through Dino Botika's clearance. And yellow card for Corbin Piper. Very watchful from Caleb Downs. Three yellow cards this game. Piper, Woods of Birkenhead, and one for Reniga. Connor McLean's header. One back by Murati. Now Denhire, who goes past Burfoot. Here's Zambrano. Michael Denhire! Oh, that was the moment. Brilliant move created by a very, very good player, but it needed more with the finish.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Corey. That was the opportunity. Nice bit of play from Zambrano, and Denhire continued his run. That one really needed to be in the back of the net for Auckland United. Some sustained pressure from Auckland United. A couple of corners, a couple of crosses. Redfern, Ollie Fay. Really need to start turning these into chances and into goals.
Well, Denhire went for placement when what it really needed was brutality and accuracy. Went with the side of the foot as Birkenhead looking across from the right-hand side. Frank Penda releases Murati. Running at the Birkenhead United defence. Still he goes on. Well played by Andrew Crom. No nonsense from Andrew Crom. Penda. Middleton's made an intelligent run down the right-hand side. Whipped in early to the near post. Good run by Redfern, equally good defending. Well, player down for Birkenhead United. Looks like Jackson Woods. That was a good ball in by Middleton. Good defending from Boddicker.
And Redfern again making, as any good striker, making that near post run.
That's away by Rodich. Lovely touch to set up Ollie Fay. Auckland United knocking on the door. Rodich looked to come and then changed his mind. Well, triple substitution for Paul Hobson's team in the offing. Curtis Hughes, Chase Taylor, Cody Phoenix all being prepared as Birkenhead go on the counter-attack. That's well won by Murati. Middleton. Well, that was neither a cross nor a shot. Players to be removed: Everton O'Leary, Alex Connor McLean and Sam Burfoot. Well, Melville United now 4-2 up over Napier City Rovers as these series of substitutions is processed by Luke Gardner, the fourth official. Well, Jackson Woods has joined that, a quadruple substitution. Cam McKenzie joins the fray. Fresh legs to manage this game out, secure 3 very important points and a 4th win in 7 derby matches in the Battle of the Bridge for Birkenhead United. They're not far away from it, less than 7 minutes plus stoppages.
Paul Hobson will be running these changes just to work their socks off for the last 7 or 8 minutes. Just put as much pressure on the ball as they can. Try and force some mistakes out of Auckland United.
Well, this result, if it stays the same, will mean that both Birkenhead and Auckland United will be hoping that Miramar can beat Auckland City tomorrow and leave that second playoff space, grand final space, open for business. And intriguingly, Melville United, if they hang on to their 4-2 advantage over Napier, will go to 13 points, just one behind both Auckland United and Birkenhead, and within 3 points of Auckland City, whom they play in the final round at Kiwitea Street, which would be very interesting. They would have the most outside of shots to make the grand final.
But it's still a shot, right?
It is.
Still a shot.
So what that would mean is if they beat Auckland City and both Auckland United and Birkenhead lost to Napier and the Phoenix, Melville would qualify for the final against Wellington Olympic. I bet you're glad I don't do your taxes.
Look, yeah, oh, well, might be the other way, Gordy. You know?
Well, well, a lot of what ifs.
I think in these sort of situations where you're kind of relying on other results, you just need to win your game. That's you know, the rest of the results will obviously look after themselves, but you've got to sort of uphold your part of the bargain and win. Yeah, look, I think Corbin Piper and Luke Jorgensen for Birkenhead have been instrumental this afternoon.
Yeah, they've been very strong throughout Birkenhead. Auckland United really put them under pressure in that opening 10 minutes, and you just felt, well, I certainly felt that Birkenhead might have been in a spot of bother, big trouble, but they've acquitted themselves ever so well, and it took a piece of extraordinary
brilliant
quality.
Free kick, wasn't it? Brilliant free kick from Dylan Thompson.
I think Paul Hobson and his team have played this situation just right. Marathi. Now Middleton looking for a free kick, doesn't get it, and now Dane Schnell, who's breaking down the left and now getting some support on this left-hand side. And it's a corner kick. Just over 3 minutes to go of the regulation 90. It was a lung-bursting run by Cody Phoenix. Four additional minutes to be added on at the end of this, so still some life left. Unless Birkenhead can add to their tally, I think a third goal would kill it off, as Auckland United deal with the danger, but unconvincingly. McKenzie. Wait. Auckland United ranging forward. Fumiya Ito dispossessed by Piper. That was a heavy touch that forced Ross Haviland to come out of the centre-back position, and now it's another free kick for Birkenhead as the clock ticks down.
That's what Paul Hobbs is looking for from his substitutes, this type of tenacity and running, putting pressure on the ball. Haviland back to ball. 2 players around him. Kenzie drawing the free kick right in the corner.
Hobson with the free kick. Oh, and there it is. That settles it. Birkenhead United. Oh, no, it's a handball. Caleb Downs was very quick with the whistle. 4 minutes of additional time. Marati now off on a run. Esimpenda tries to play Middleton in behind, and Rodic. Well, that was very interesting. Here's another look at it.
Again, it's a great free kick. Dylan Hobson. With the, looked like a legitimate goal. Has been chalked back for a handball.
I think it was the substitute Chase Taylor who was at the near post. It all happened so quick. I didn't detect anything myself, and we only got one look at that replay. Denhire. Denhire comes clear with the ball. Now Reniga. Marati. It's a good turn by Middleton, and Esimpenda's gone through. Clipped across the face, a goal. All it needed was a touch. And there was nobody in a black shirt ready to pounce and take advantage of Guy Frank Esimpenda's fine work. Haviland. Marati. Takes on Piper, who's grabbed a bit of his shirt. And
he's got to be careful, Piper. He's on a yellow card.
Well, Piper might not have got away with it. Oh, it's a card, and it's a red card to follow. Birkenhead down to 10. Corbin Piper will be missing for next week's trip to Wellington to face the Phoenix. And here's why that happened.
He just didn't need to do it, did he?
Yeah, it's a moment where you need to regulate your emotions and curb that aggression.
Again, and again, I don't know who it is, kind of the other Birkenhead defender, to come out and help him, because obviously Marati had gone round him. Yeah, it's a natural part of Corbin Piper's makeup as a footballer. As this one has swung into the far post, and Will Stephen tried to work his way into a shooting position, but it's still with Auckland United. We're in the 3rd minute of the additional time. Reniga. Auckland United need to get it forward. Good pressure from Schnell. Good ball by Denhire for Josh Redfern. Well, very tidily done by Dino Boddick. He's had a game of quiet achievement. Into the final minute now of the additional time. Middleton fighting for everything. Marati. And very well covered by Cody Phoenix.
Kick to the far post. Rodic read it like a book. And a foul committed. Haviland tries to help Rodic to his feet and does. No hard feelings there. Well, Harry, that is the additional time done. And the game looks done too. And in fact, it has done for quite some time. Denhire. And there it is. Birkenhead United have picked up another victory in the Battle of the Bridge over Auckland United by 2-0. Dylan Hobson's brilliant free kick in the first half, and Corbin Piper with a goal in the second have given Paul Hobson's team another lifeline in the pursuit of a grand final place. All eyes now turn to tomorrow's game at Kiwatia Street between Auckland City FC and Miramar Rangers, where both Auckland United and Birkenhead United will be backing Miramar to defeat Auckland City to keep that grand final spot open. Wellington Olympic won 7-1, they're through. But what a game this was.
Oh, it had everything, didn't it? Red card, a couple of goals. You had Auckland, both teams that needed the points this afternoon. A couple of other results to go their way. We've obviously got one round tomorrow. You've given us the permutations, the lotto draw, so to speak, Gordy. So, look, I think Corbin Piper and Luke Jorgensen were the winners for me today. They did everything, you know, to put Auckland United off their game. They actually pressed forward. They were aggressive. I mean, just unfortunate for Piper that he received that second yellow card in the closing stages. But for me, the game was won in the middle of the park, and unfortunate for Auckland United. They had that disruption with Curtis Mogg. Denhire had to sort of play most of the first half at centre back before they made that change for the start of the second half. But Birkenhead were able to hang on under some pressure towards the end from United.
Well, let's take a look at the results from the National Women's League from today. Western Springs defeating Auckland United 3-2. Southern United and Capital Football shared a point in a 1-1 draw. And our earlier game today, Northern Rovers 4, Central Football 0. And being played tomorrow at William Green Domain in Pakuranga, it's Eastern Suburbs against Canterbury United on Sky Sport Next at 1 o'clock. National Women's League standings led by the perfect Eastern Suburbs. 10 games, 10 wins, 30 points from 30. Western Springs have a 5-point lead over Northern Rovers. There are 3 games left to play. Rovers and Southern United are still in the hunt, but they'll need Western Springs to drop some points. Central Football, unfortunately for them today, their 11th straight defeat, yet to pick up a point. Some eye-opening results in the National League Championship in Round 8. Wellington Olympic, as I said, thrashed Christchurch United 7-1. Jesse Randall scored 4 goals for Olympic. Birkenhead United, as we described for you, defeated Auckland United 2-0. And currently at Gower Park in Hamilton, it's a goal fest. Melville United 4, Napier City Rovers 3, and that's at half-time. Couple of games for you tomorrow. Starting, of course, with Auckland City FC's match with Miramar Rangers, 3 o'clock, Kiwatia Street, Sky Sport 9, and Cashmere Technical taking on Phoenix Reserves an hour later from English Park in Christchurch, and that's on Sky Sport Next. And here's how the National League Championship looks after today's action. Wellington Olympic, 19 points, 5 clear of Birkenhead and Auckland United. They are in the grand final with a game to spare. And Birkenhead victorious over Auckland United, sitting in third as a result of the head-to-head record. And the big game tomorrow, Auckland City FC hosting Miramar Rangers. These two teams have met once before, with Miramar winning that one 2-0. Will that be the case tomorrow? You'll have to wait and see. Well, that wraps up all the action from Shepherds Park as we brought you coverage of Birkenhead versus Auckland United. On behalf of Harry Nata and myself, Gordon Glenn Watson, it's been a pleasure all day long to talk to you about football. We'll see you again next time.